So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mike Volz. I am Cub Scout Roundtable Commissioner here in the Sunset Trail District, which means that every month I stand here and present something exciting, I hope, and interesting, I hope. And the first thing we always do is sign in. Heather, where are you going? Come on.
I didn't sign in.
Oh, okay, I'll send a sign in for her. Name, rank, serial number. If you know me and you know that I have your email address, you've received emails from me, go ahead and write same under email. Otherwise, please give me your email address. I will point you this evening to, via email, a couple of things. I'm going to do a pointer to a virtual breakout I did. I did kind of a, what did I call it? A classroom session of, the monthly theme and all that, because I'm seeding my thing tonight to these lovely ladies over here to the left, and I'll introduce them in just a second. So I'll point you to that. I'll also point you to a Google Drive location where you can get handouts, flyers, copies of all of our slides and everything like that. You can go download those, keep them, share them with your friends, and most importantly, hopefully, your fellow scouters, so you can share what you've learned. So please do sign in. And that's what that's going to be. So let me introduce my friend, my partner in crime, Lisa DeCoster, who is a paraprofessional with our district. She's fantastic. She's amazing. Give her a little love, guys.
So, as Mike said, I'm Lisa DeCoster, and I am your paraprofessional. So that basically means I am part-time with the council, and I am partners with Brian Blashley, who is your district director. I am training to be a district executive that he's threatening that he's going to throw at me. That I'm going to get some unit at some point. But anyway, so my rest of my team, Michelle Burns, and Tiger Prowl is kind of her baby, and Heather Kaufman. Crossman.
Just read the slide. It's right there.
Heather. They're my team. And so my team has come together to sort of build and design this program for you so that it can make it easier on you. So some of the three parties that we're going to be covering, one heavier than the rest. We've got Tiger Prowl, which has a trail to Bobcat theme. Carnival, so if your boys in the bear den have not done their carnival yet, here's an opportunity for them to do the carnival, earn their bear adventure, and in the same time support the pack. And then the launch party, which unfortunately it was raining so unbelievably hard, I left the launchers in my car. I didn't want to be drenched. I'm that selfish. But if you are from 685 and I believe 122, let me know. I've got 2 launchers. I've got 1 more launcher if someone can give me the date of their spring recruitment, which is one of the perks, and we'll go farther into that. So at this point I'm going to introduce Michelle, because Tiger Prowl is her baby. And she's going to start the process of what this is about. And then it's a station thing, and then Michelle and Heather will talk, and then I'll talk again.
So, I have to be honest, I actually learned of the Tiger Prowl model from another scout leader that shared this model at one of the classes I took at what's formerly known as Prowl. I don't know what it's called now because I haven't been in many years. Thank you. So everybody keeps telling me, I always forget. She shared this model, and I've kind of taken it to the nth degree because they just had like a big event and people just came and they did a big parent meeting. I've taken it a step further and created a model to where the boys and the parents are engaged in this scouting process throughout the different stations. And of course, I had to tweak it a little bit because the program has changed. So doing it this way, once Brian showed me the launch party idea, I kind of developed this to use in conjunction with your launch party. Because as your parents are arriving with potential new scouts, you can engage them, have volunteer opportunities for them to participate in the different stations. So that way they're engaged from the beginning, and you initiate that culture of this is a volunteer parent-run organization. None of us, well except for Lisa of course, is paid to scout all the time. as much as I'd love to, we're just not paid to do it, and we need to share the fun. So, do I have lots of slides? I don't know. So I'm gonna,
Here's the clicker.
here's a clicker.
This button is next slide.
So, station one, I'm gonna decide, whoops.
Suggestion materials.
These are just suggested materials, welcome table, name tags, craft supplies, station, very distinct station areas. We had it set up in here last week where we just had little tables set up with tablecloths and then the station one would be doing a craft, and they can learn the Scout Oath at the same time. Do you have my timer set?
Writing. I'll be right back.
So this picture right here is she's gonna go get it. I actually made a really cool tiger slide. The idea was in the very first station, and I just went to the dollar store and bought a bunch of orange neckerchiefs. They can actually become Tiger Scouts at the first station. So they make their tiger slide, they put it on their neckerchief, and then they learn the Scout Oath, and they move on to the next station. These are very simple to make, especially if you do all the cutouts beforehand. You can get the materials at the dollar store. If you're really picky, you can go to Joann's, and they're still really cheap. That's actually where I suggest you get the googly eyes, because the ones at the dollar store comes in a bag with like different sizes. They were eyeballs as big as the tiger slide, so those really wouldn't look very good. So then you can move on to station 2, which is a little more in depth. You could do several ideas. You could do a matching game, a memory game, because you're learning what the Scout Oath means and all the different components to it. And so that one's a little more detailed. Do we expect them to do a perfect salute and spout it off before at the end of 15 minutes? But you know, you're supposed to do your best. And then the third station is going to be learn the Scout sign, the salute, and the motto, and the handshake, which are all very easy components. And then at the end of it, it would be a good, this is,
Yep.
That's the end, that's going on to the next one. So then you could also do, once you're all done, you could have a mock award ceremony included in these packets that Lisa was very nice enough to print. There's these Bobcat ranks that you can print onto like blue cardstock, and then you can give out basically fake Bobcats. Under the guidance that part 7 of this is the parents, they have to go home with their parents and they have to review the youth protection training pamphlet that's in the front of all of the books, because it is a requirement for Bobcat. So timed right, you could probably do one of these in less than 45 minutes. And because you're engaging your parents, they're really, what you could do then, if you wanted to do the lunch party afterwards, you could send the kids out into, if you have an outside space, with your leaders to do lunch party, have cake, while you have your parent meeting inside, and you can have you can have parent packets put together. We do have ideas up there about the parent packets. You could do your unit calendar, introduction to all your leaders. You can just talk about scouting in general. There's all kinds of things that you can do with that, and so that way the parents have an opportunity to learn about your unit and about your leadership and what your units do. Am I supposed to keep going?
You can be good.
Okay.
I can
So-
do this.
What's that?
I can move through this. We didn't practice.
The second style you could do would also be the Carnival style, which is the Grin bear. It's the berry requirement. They have to do a carnival anyway, so this would be a great platform to do it. Engage your bears, get them involved, come up with several games. The Scout Walk is something that I actually saw at my son's alum pack. The person who did that printed on just regular paper all the different points of the Scout Law with a big sheet of all the different ranks, and then she put it in a big circle and sheet protectors and just taped it down with some paint tape. And it was played like you would do a cakewalk. Turn on the music, and when you stop, She pulls if there's something, she pulls trustworthy, and if you're staying untrustworthy, you earn a prize. So it was really cool the way she set it up. So that was, I'm sorry. My child has decided to remember she was socks.
Oh, we don't worry until it's all close.
She's buckled, otherwise she would. So that would be, and these, like I said, these pamphlets that we put together has all the information. It's got all the Carnival information in there too. There's Carnival game ideas. There is actually, I literally just cut and paste this out of the bare requirements for the Carnival. But again, you can engage your parents as they come in, help them with the Carnival, and then transition into the launch party while your parents learn about your pack. And the kids get cake and you can send them home with sugar. And there's the tiger slide instructions, which I think has been making its rounds. Like I said, made right, it took me like 5 minutes to put one together. It wasn't really that bad. It was fairly simple.
Made by boys, too.
Well, we had 2 boys make one last week, and granted there was lots of glue all over the place. I will recommend rubber cement over regular Elmer's glue. Elmer's glue does work, but I would recommend using your finger to put it on, which they're boys, they don't care. Because otherwise, just try to use a nozzle and then you put the foam pieces together, you get glue smushed all over the place.
Do you have a copy of this in PDF format?
I do.
We can put on the Google Drive?
She has that.
We can make that happen.
Yeah.
And so the last thing I want to talk about is the cake. We actually have a deal with the Costco bakery that anybody can walk in and order this lovely Scout cake that we have in the back. It actually has the rocket ship on it, and there's some cake order forms. They do require an order 24 hours in advance. So just the day before you want to pick it up, somebody with a Costco membership can go in and order the cake.
24 hours is
And
quick.
Is it any Costco or is it a specific Costco?
It is just the Beaverton Costco, the one over on Jenkins and 173rd-ish.
So the Nike one?
Yes.
Yep.
So, funny story, one of my PAC alum is actually the cake decorator at that one. So she's actually made lots of specialty cakes for us in the past, and so this is kind of branching out into all of Beaverton, that any of the PACs have this ability to go in and make this cake. And you can see what it looks like in the back. So when you fill out your cake order form, you pick whatever flavor you want. Last week we had vanilla, which turned out really nice. This week we have chocolate. And so you just pick your flavor, and then at the bottom where you just write in Cub Scout Rocket Cake, you can personalize it however you want, but the format will pretty much stay the same. And so that's really cool from Costco.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, that's it.
So, next, it's the build your own party. So this particular party, the launch party, Heather, if you would hold up, since it wasn't raining, I grabbed the Aquapod.
Fantastic.
So, council actually put this party together for you guys. And there's a couple of things about this particular event that's a little different. They've designed invitations. So it's a PDF that we can send to you if you want to go and have your boys actually physically invite one of their buddies. That's, there's a place for where they're from, what it's for, what the date is, and the launch site. And then it gives you all a little bit of the same rundown of how to plan your party. So you've got plan, you've got your rocketry, and promotional material. So from there, we're going to go to handouts, and these are kinds of things that are available. So there's the Tiger Prowl booklet, which we showed you. There's the launch party. I found out today from our Cub Scout Roundtable Extraordinaire that the Beaverton School District is doing their building use form electronically only. I had the forms, but I guess the forms are moot. They don't matter anymore. So there's the link. Of course, Mike always likes to send out the PowerPoint presentation or make it available to you guys as soon as the meetings, well, roughly 24
I
hours after
have
the meetings.
Not yet, not failed to have it out by midnight,
Yeah.
so that's my promise.
We've got the cake order forms over there, the material request form. So how many of you have actually ordered material from the council to support your recruiting?
I tried, but your forms, PDF forms, are not fillable.
Online, no, they're not.
And it would help me because I don't have a scanner to,
You know, that would be really handy. But
It's
the
not-
other thing you can do is you have a paraprofessional who's in the office 5 hours a day.
Give her a call. Say, hey, Lisa.
In the past, I just emailed and said what I wanted and what form I wanted, and it was all good to go.
And it's not Michelle that does that, it's, what's her name?
Kelly.
McHarg.
Yeah,
And she's fantastic.
she is. And you can also call me and I can fill out the paperwork for you. I had it somewhere, but it's,
There's a copy of the PDF on the Google Drive,
okay.
but I believe, yeah, so.
So, you know, you can do flyers, you can get stickers, you can do bookmarks. I actually have 8 yard signs with me. If you have anyone who wants to take a couple of yard signs, I just need to have you check them out. You do not have to return them. But I do have to make note of which units are taking them. 685 was very generous and let us borrow their parent pack. So you can take a look at what 685 does for their new parent orientation. Theirs is pretty thorough. Way more thorough than when I was in charge. But that's just kind of the way that rolls. Some other things to help you guys. The Tiger Book Incentive. So as you go through the Tiger Prowl and you've gone through the Trail of the Bobcat, you have to do that adult piece where you're talking to your kids about being safe. For your Tiger Scouts, if you get a Tiger Scout and you get them to sign a youth application, they can get a Tiger book. So literally, if you work with me and I work with you, I can make sure I have Tiger books for you at the event so that when your Tigers are done, and you've got a youth application, we can hand them that Tiger book and they can just go home and finish the Bobcat badge. As you say, the I guess it's the Aquapod rocket bottle launcher. If I get a date from you, council is buying that for you. Another recruitment piece is the Cub Scout Shootout. I pitch this one a lot because I'm one of the leaders.
It's
It's not
precious
quite
baby.
my own baby, but
It
I'm
really
one of the.
is.
So the Cub Scout Shootout, who's gone to Cub Scout Shootout?
It's awesome, guys.
So we opened Camp Ireland on May 21st, and we're gonna have 3 BB gun ranges, 3 archery ranges, a slingshot range, ping pong, thingamabob that shoots ping pongs everywhere. We're gonna have a bottle rocket, water rockets, not bottle rockets, that would be bad.
2-liter water bottle.
The water bottle rockets. We're also promoting this new program. It's the new rank-specific shootout. Shooting Sports Awards. Very much a mouthful. And so if you've got a Tiger Scout, he can earn his Tiger rank-specific, and this summer earn his wolf. So it's this, I think, I could be wrong, because they're going to camp as the next rank up.
If you have a kindergartner who signs up on June 1st,
No.
right, but if you have a current Tiger or.
Yes.
Yeah, so that would make sense.
So, yes, you had a
Oh,
question.
so if you have a kindergartner who's a friend but can't sign up until June 1st, can they come to the May 21st?
Yes, because you're actively recruiting these
Okay.
youth,
Okay.
they are covered because they're
Okay.
active recruits.
Okay.
They can't
It's an
officially,
intent to join thing,
they
right?
are intending to join.
Right.
They cannot technically join until June 1st.
Okay.
So if you're recruiting and you have a bunch of kindergartners and you've built your Tiger Den for next year, they can still come to your April and May events because they're active recruited youth. And so they can come to this event. Just make sure they know mom and dad are stuck to them like glue. This is not a drop-off activity. So big promotion. Scout Store will be there so you can buy the new patches if they've earned the patches. So that's that. And I'm sort of not sure why this is not working. Oh, I've got a preview thing going on here. Is that what? There we go. I'm actually going to pass this off to Mike
Oh,
because this is the new recruit folder. He's got ideas of things that you can put into your new parent, new recruiting folder.
did you bring any of those? Or am I just gonna get the actual
Oh, I
glossy
did not.
folder? Oh, okay. So we're gonna do this a little bit abstractly. Council puts together some really fantastic glossy folders. Have you guys seen these every year? Nobody?
They're about
Really?
this big.
Yeah, okay, so you're familiar with them. They're 8.5 by 11, and the council usually stuffs in a youth app, an adult app, a trail to Bobcat,
I've seen
a
those.
camp.
Those folders.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those,
yeah, no,
right?
no, no.
I call them recruitment.
No, I know.
Okay, so you know what they are. So about half of you guys know what I'm talking about. So those are slick, right? You guys have used those. They're slick. They look nice, and it's easy to hand one of those to your new parent and say, "Here's everything you need," right? What you want to do is you want to put, right, if you don't already have one, a new parent guide. I have one over there from my pack for you to absorb and take what you want. Council has a version that's kind of abstract from council level, is also one that National creates. Take what you like from those and integrate it into your own. And then talk about in your new parent guide, like what we do. What do we do as a pack? We do fundraising, we do this, we do Climate Derby, we do Blue and Gold, we do some overnighters. What does your pack do? You want to really imbue what is special about your pack. You want to have a calendar. I've talked a lot about annual planning, creating that 12 to 18 month calendar so you can hand that calendar to a prospective parent and say, here's what we're doing for the next year. Join us. You guys have heard me say that, right? Got a few new ones in the crowd. That's a very powerful tool. We have a code of conduct. It's not on the table. Some packs do, some packs don't. If you do, throw that in there. Medical forms, AB, it's a real pain to chase those down 2 days before camp. Hand them out with your recruitment form packet, and then have your pack secretary, who's fantastic and amazing, go and chase those down throughout the year so you're not scrambling 2 days before camp. Make sure you have an extra stack of youth applications and adult applications. Me personally, when they come from council, Lisa's going to bring me a stack next month, I think. And you should make sure we bring everybody a stack.
Yes.
They're going to have youth and adult applications. My personal opinion, take the adult application out. I find it rather, what's the word, presumptuous that I'm going to recruit an adult on that day. Now, I might need to have a stack in case I have a new den leader or a new committee member. I want to get that youth signed up first, right? Especially if it's Tiger. Get them in, reel them in, get them excited, and then get to know mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, and say, hey, we could use your help. What do you think? And then materials, and then at the bottom of the packet, the council's going to throw in a bunch of stuff about dad and lad and all the other fun things that are coming up. And basically, when I do this, that's a blank slide.
Yeah,
What I do is I give them the packet, and if I've always had parents come with more than one sibling. Always. It could be twins, it could be stepbrothers, it could be an older brother, younger brother, whatever, doesn't matter. So make sure they get a packet, and if they've got another one, always ask, who's got an extra youth today? Brought me more than one. They get an extra youth application, they get an extra medical form. They don't need the rest of that. They don't need multiple copies of the parent guide, stuff like that, right? And then I say, okay, take your packet, pull the packet out. On the top is my, can you grab the parent guide, Heather? On the very top, it says, welcome to Scouting, the one in the back. That's the one, yeah, the parent guide. You should know what it looks like. It says, first thing, welcome to Cub Scouts. How friendly is that, right? A Scout is friendly. And I go through and I say, okay, we take these things and the calendars below here and a couple of, set those to your left. And everything else from the council, I'm going to tease out the youth application, put that to your right. The big hunk of stuff from the council, put that back in the folder. That's your reading for tonight. You don't need that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through this. And I'm going to talk about dens, I'm going to talk about packs, I'm going to talk about charter org, because I guarantee you, 80 to 90% of the people you have come to your recruitment night are going to have no idea about scouting. They're going to have no experience. They're not going to know what a charter org is, a den, a pack, a troop. They'll probably have a general idea from popular culture of what Boy Scouts do and what they're all, they go camping, right? Well, we're Cub Scouts. Isn't that the same? No, not quite. So go through your parent guide, talk about advancement, talk about what you do. Do you do fundraising? How much does it cost? You always get the question, how much does it cost? Have that ready to go. So you walk them through your parent guide. I also have, hey, you're still on here. I also have 2 pages of PAC leadership. 2-page form. I have a bio, name, what they do, contact information, and their picture. And this is, welcome to our PAC. We want you to get to know us, and we want to get to know you. It was about 3 years ago, we had some real trouble with some new recruits feeling like they weren't very welcome. So this is our attempt, and it's actually worked fairly well.
I won't take that personally.
I don't think it was you. It was, well, it comes from somebody else actually. But anyway, it's our attempt to put a little bit of humanity behind the name and the face. My Cub Master is not just a guy in front of the meeting. He actually enjoys archery. And he coaches archery and all that kind of stuff. And everybody has a little bit of a detail. Give them some resources, some links. We have a page here, and this is one of those things you always get. Our new one is a little bit different, but where do I sew that patch on, right? I've seen the district rounder up here. I've seen it over here. I mean, it's nuts. And then you talk about your calendar for the next 12 months. We're going to be going to camp. We're going to be going to an overnighter at the zoo. We're going to be doing a Halloween party. Whatever you're doing. And you really truncated my slides.
I did.
Yeah, wow. So you get to a point, at some point, where you're going to say, now it's time to fill out your youth application. Here, I have a slide that I use of all the quick and simple dirty answers, the unit number, the district name, the things that they're not going to necessarily remember and know. And it'll also say on there, today only, $40 or whatever the cost is that you put together for your unit, so that they know, aha, that's get out my checkbook time. Thank you. Slick thing you can do, and this is on the video too, make sure you go on to myscouting.scouting, I do this every time, myscouting.scouting.org, key 3 can do this, and a delegate. You're a delegate, I think, right? Go on to the Be a Scout section. Make sure that your Be a Scout pin is active. Make sure that your Apply Online status is active. Then you can send people to your Apply Online page directly via something like a QR code. We printed out a half sheet of paper with a QR code. They can scan it with their cell phone. It takes them directly there. They can punch in all their Billy Cub Scouts names. Next, next, next. It's a 4-step process. Submit. They're done. It's paperless. Then you send them to your treasurer, who has something like Square. And your treasurer swipes their debit card, their credit card, $45. See you Tuesday, it's PAC meeting, and you're done. It's very slick, it works. And you can market your PAC as paperless. So I think...
One thing
Please.
about Square,
yes.
if you are a non-profit organization, they waive all of their fees.
We haven't found that. Is that really? You have to
Square or PayPal.
It might be
One of them
PayPal.
does. I know PayPal does.
Okay.
But you have to have the paperwork.
That's Christy or
Yeah, she
Jen.
may not have looked into
She
that.
may not have looked into that.
That's
true, because that's like a 2.75%.
Yeah.
And what we do is we add up, okay, national dues is this much, and Boys Life, and we have a patch, the custom patch number, and then a t-shirt, and that's my total. And then I go, okay, add on 2.5%, and then if the people pay with cash, it goes into their scout account or whatever, right? No big deal. Usually it's $1.50.
Yeah.
I don't want to take a hit on that. But that's good to know.
Yeah,
Look into that. And there are
yeah.
other options other than Square. I don't know if they're as good, but Square's great. Okay.
Yep. Just some pictures.
Just some pictures.
Yep, from
Yeah.
the video. I'm
Hey,
totally
look, it's
trusting
me
you.
and Matt.
Yes.
And
Video
yeah.
that you're secretary.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm going to hand it back to
Yes.
Lisa.
So, I like it quick and dirty. I like to get the parents, give them the basic information to get them going. Mike is very detail oriented. So we've had some discussion because our program is to set up, we're 45 minutes hanging out with the kids, 15 minutes where they're partying and lunching things, and they're doing a presentation. Your leadership team, den leaders are out with the boys, your committee's inside talking to the parents. I can do it in 15. Mike's like, are you kidding me?
Maybe at least half an hour.
Yeah. So that's sort of it in a nutshell. As my team is here, we are here to help you. If you have any questions, just who's actually prepared to give me a date tonight or need some help with planning or have some great ideas? What are your units doing for spring recruitment? I'm going to put you on the spot because you're right there.
Wow.
Are you doing spring recruitment?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Did get a lot of fall recruits, so
Okay.
we really need to hit it pretty hard here.
Excellent.
Fall. So
What are you up to?
Some.
Are you doing spring recruitment?
We're all kind of
We're
You're the same
I think
group.
seven-
I have my
748.
recruitment committee here. Are you with the same group?
Nope. We generally do most of our recruitment in the fall, so we don't have plans for spring recruitment right now.
Can we help you change your mind? What group are you with?
592.
592. Excellent. Let me and the team know, and we'll do what we can to help if you need us to come help. There's a couple of different ways we can do it. Mike had a great idea, because my initial thought was to come to your actual recruiting night to support you. But if we need to come to your planning night, and that would be a better support for you, we can help with that. What is your unit planning on doing for spring recruitment?
I don't know yet.
Excellent. I
But
don't
we are
know.
definitely planning on having an event.
Excellent.
And I do have questions, but.
Yes, ask away.
So what about marketing the event? So like, do you spread the word around the school? Do you?
Can I take this one?
There's lots of different ways, yes. Mike, you can answer
Can
that
I-
question.
can I
Yeah,
take this
you're
one?
like chomping at the bit, it's vibrating on the chair there. Yes.
This is an example of a very simple display you can take to a open house, carnival, a curriculum night. There's going to be some point where you want to be on site, have boots on the ground with people in uniform, adult leaders, cub masters, a wonderful secretary, maybe a district person, whatever. And scouts in uniform too aren't bad, although oftentimes, like we're gonna do an open house at our school that we recruit at. So wherever you recruit from, find something where you're gonna have a lot of people, adults and youth, at the school. Maybe it's a science fair, something like that, right? Identify that point, and then before that, you wanna have a planning meeting to get everybody together, say, okay, how are we gonna make a photo display. You can also do a video. I have a video I can show you. It's about a 26-minute loop. I just pulled from YouTube and stitched it together. I've had better success with this. I don't know why. Part of it is that has scouts with archery going on, and archery resonates big time. Brave, Hunger Games, you name it. I don't know, these kids just want to shoot bows and arrows. It's nuts. So you want to be on site, and you want to get people interested. Bring people to your table, and basically tell them about your pack and say, here's what we do, here's our thing. Can we have your contact information? Here's a flyer for our join night next week. Ideally, you have your join night about a week later. Can we get your information? This is important because this is leads. And then talk to as many humans as you possibly can. Go ahead, Sue.
When we would go to sometimes like the play or the little concert or things at our elementary school, we also would try to have the calendar of events coming up.
Okay.
So just a brief little calendar so they could see some of the fun things that we were planning to do,
Sure, there's
which
no harm
also
in
helped
that.
entice
Absolutely,
them.
yeah. I like to do an annual planning for me personally in late April, and then early May we have, I call it a connect point, at least one. Fall I did two, and it worked out really well. And then a week after that connect point, join night. Hit them hard, do a rotation, just like what they're talking about. And so you want to have flyers. A lot of people create flyers and then send them to schools and just cast them about willy-nilly. It doesn't work.
No.
You have to have a presence, people on the ground. Yeah, go ahead.
So the thing that really worked the best for us, and we had 20 tigers the year we did this, because our son was going to be a tiger, and my husband stood up after the kindergarten play, and it was probably May, and said, hey, you know, we're going to go to camp this summer. If your son wants to go to day camp at Camp Ireland with us, come and talk to me afterwards because we'll be going, you know. So just something simple like that, and then they come.
And that's effective to get those scouts long-term excited about scouting, going to day camp, going to Camp Ireland for a week. They're going to hit the ground in September super excited about being a Cub Scout. They'll have already earned their Bobcat, probably a bunch of other stuff, and you'll have this cohesive den of tigers, and it'll be awesome. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did.
All right, back to Lisa.
So this is sort of the question answer piece. What I'm gonna actually ask you to do is, if you wanna go take a look at the cake, because you know, as the phrase goes, you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you wanted to take a look at the cake before we slice and dice it, feel free to do so now, and after we have your cake, we can have answers and questions, and we can talk further about what your plans are. Yes, I did.
The Recruiter Award, or Recruiter Strip, whichever you prefer to call it, is designed to encourage our youth members to recruit a friend into scouting. You can see on the left side of this picture our photo display. You can see the derby cars on the bottom left with, of course, Cub Scout Shootout. We have a date for this. This is the second annual Cub Scout Shootout. This is Lisa DeCoster's big event that she